Good morning, dear students. We have completed the chapter Electromagnetic Induction till previous lecture. I hope you have understood well, and I am sure that you must have solved all the assignments of this chapter. Today, we shall start a new and very interesting chapter, Alternating Current. So be focused. Now we shall discuss the chapter Alternating Current. Before coming to this topic Alternating Current, we will recall the methods of producing induced EMF in a coil, which is discussed in previous chapter Electromagnetic Induction. Students, we know that induced EMF can be produced in a coil by three ways. Number one, by changing the magnetic field. Number two, by changing the area of coil. And number three, by changing the relative orientation of coil with magnetic field and the area. Here we will take the third situation, that induced EMF by changing orientation of coil in magnetic field. Because with the help of this induced EMF produced in a coil by changing its orientation, the alternating current can easily be explained. So look at this figure. Here I have drawn a coil PQRS which is placed in uniform magnetic field B, such that normal drawn on plane of coil makes an angle theta with direction of magnetic field B. This is the axis of the coil, and this coil is rotated about its axis with angular velocity omega. So if omega is the angular velocity, so theta must be equal to omega at any instant of time. So assume, suppose a coil PQRS of cross-sectional area A having n turns is rotated in a uniform magnetic field B as shown in this figure. If the normal to plane of coil makes an angle theta with the direction of magnetic field B, already shown over here, then magnetic flux linked with the coil at any instant of time is given by what? Magnetic flux, suppose phi is equal to B into A. So B dot A, N is the number of turns of the coil. So B dot A is equal to BA cos theta at here the N. So magnetic flux is equal to NBA cos theta. Because theta is equal to omega t. So put over here NBA cos omega t, because theta is equal to omega t. Students, as this coil rotated in the magnetic field, magnetic flux linked with the coil will change, as a result of which the EMF will be induced in the coil. So how can we calculate that induced EMF? From the Farad law of electromagnetic induction, we have the formula. Induced EMF in a coil is equal to minus d phi by dt. Here at the place of phi, put the values NBA cos omega t, to minus d by dt NBA cos omega. So now differentiate this. NBA will be taken out. So induced EMF is equal to minus NBA d by dt cos omega t. And when cos omega t will be differentiated, the differentiation of cos omega t is minus sin omega t, and again omega t is differentiated with respect to time, so becomes omega. So after this, when final result will get NBA omega sin omega t. That means the relation 1 is equal to NBA omega sin omega t gives the expression for EMF induced in the coil PQRS, which is rotated with angular velocity omega in the uniform magnetic field B. Question is, when the induced EMF will be maximum? So here induced EMF E will be maximum, that is E naught, if sine omega t is maximum, that is 1. So put this value of sine omega t is equal to 1 in this relation at the place of this. Sine omega t is equal to 1 put. So E becomes maximum value E naught, and this nba omega over here at the place of sine omega t 1. So E naught nba omega. This equation 2 gives the value of maximum induced EMF in the coil. Now put this equation 2 in equation 1. Now what the result is? At the place of E as it is, and at the place of nba omega here E naught sine omega t as it is. So E is equal to E naught sine omega t. So this relation 3 gives the instantaneous value of induced EMF produced in coil PQRS rotating with angular velocity omega in uniform magnetic field B at any time t. Now we know that this angular velocity omega is equal to 2 pi f, where f is the frequency of rotation of the coil I have mentioned over here. Then in this equation 3 at the place of omega put 2 pi f. So E is equal to E naught sine 2 pi f into t. This relation 4 is also known as the induced EMF produced in this coil PQRS in the magnetic field B. And this relation 4 is called or known as sinusoidal EMF or alternating EMF. We have reason behind this. Why it is called the alternating EMF? Because sine omega t is a periodic function and its value is repeated after a regular interval of time. So therefore, with the relation we can say the induced EMF E will also repeat its value minimum to maximum and maximum to minimum after regular interval of time. So this relation is also known as sinusoidal EMF or alternating EMF, and this can be explained easily with the help of a graph. So here is the graph which explains the alternating EMF clearly. Look at this figure. Rotation of coils are shown at different positions. In this figure, in uniform magnetic field B, coil rotated and its rotation is shown by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different positions. If we take the 5 different positions of this rotating coil in the uniform magnetic field B at regular interval of time, suppose t is equal to 0, to t is equal to t by 4, t by 2, 3t by 4 and t, like over here 0, t by 4, t by 2, 3t by 4 and t. It is found that this induced EMF changes its magnitude from 0 to maximum and then maximum to 0 in one direction, and again from minimum 0 to maximum and maximum to minimum 0 in opposite direction. So thus, from the nature of this graph, what can we conclude? This graph is in between induced EMF and the angular rotation. So when we study this graph, it is quite clear that from the nature of the graph, it is clear that induced EMF produced in the coil changes its magnitude minimum to maximum. This is the minimum position, minimum to maximum continuously, because here again maximum to minimum. So changes its magnitude minimum to maximum continuously and reverses its direction periodically. Reverses the direction periodically. That's why it is called the alternating EMF. And the alternating EMF at any instant is given by E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Already we have derived this equation with the help of this figure. So this is your alternating EMF at any instant of time. Students, when an external circuit by some means is connected with this coil, connected with the rotating coil, then This induced EMF establishes a voltage across the terminals of the external circuit which is connected with this coil. So this voltage also changes in magnitude continuously and reverses its direction periodically. So this voltage is known as the alternating voltage. So taking analog of this equation is holding at sin omega t. If take analog of this equation for the alternating voltage at any instant is given by this relation. V is equal to V naught sin omega t, because at the place of E, V, V naught, E naught, V naught, then sin omega t. So this V is equal to V naught sin omega t. This relation gives the value of instantaneous voltage or instantaneous voltage at any instant time, that is the alternating voltage. So V naught is called maximum or peak value of alternating voltage. Whatever the external circuit you have connected with this, that circuit must have some resistance. So let R be the resistance of that external circuit. So dividing this equation by R both the sides, V by R and V naught by R sin omega t. Now this equation becomes V by R becomes I and V naught by R becomes I naught. So I is equal to I naught sin omega t, and this expression is called the instantaneous value of alternating current. I is the instantaneous value of alternating current and I naught is the maximum value of alternating current or peak value of alternating current. Why? Because when the current is set up in the external circuit, this current also changes its magnitude continuously and reverses direction periodically, just like the alternating voltage. Hence, alternating current may be defined as the current which changes its magnitude continuously and reverses its direction periodically is called alternating current. This is our topic today, alternating current, and this is the symbol for our alternating current. Now we shall discuss a term, root mean square value of alternating current. Root mean square is also known as, in brief, RMS value of alternating current, and it has another name also. It is also called effective value or virtual value of alternating current. So first of all, we shall define the term RMS value or root mean square value of alternating current, and here is the definition. RMS value of AC is that steady current which produces the same amount of heat in a conductor in a certain time as is produced by the AC in the same conductor in its full cycle. Full cycle means complete time period T. And this is its notation. It can be denoted by IRMS or I effective or IV for the virtual. So on the basis of this definition is quite clear, I hope so. So on the basis of this definition, we'll derive the expression for RMS value of alternating current. Assume an alternating current I is equal to I naught sin omega t, where I naught is the peak value of alternating current, flows through a conductor of resistance R for very short time dt. So what is the heat produced in that conductor by this current for short time dt? So formula for heat is, you know that heat produces I, H is equal to I square RT. So here a small time dt, for it is dH, a small heat, I square R dt. So here at the place of I, we'll put this value I naught sin omega t square R dt, and now it becomes I naught square R sin square omega t dt. So this expression 1 gives the value of a small heat produced in a conductor of resistance R in short time dt by the alternating current. So what is the total heat produced in the full cycle? It means heat produced in conductor when current flows for time period t. Time period t means its full cycle. Full cycle means when t is equal to 0, from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to capital T. Capital T is the time period. So what is the total heat produced? Integrate this equation number 1. So total heat is H integrated by dH, and value of dH is over here, I naught square R sin square omega t dt. Put over here, and limit will be minimum to maximum 0 to capital T. So I naught and R both are constant, take it out, I naught square R. So sin square omega t dt will be integrated. So at the next step, H is equal to I naught square R, and the sin square omega t will be written as 1 minus cos 2 omega t by dt. You know well in the trigonometry. How? Because this is the formula. Cos 2 is equal to 1 minus 2 sin square A. So sin square A is equal to 1 minus cos 2A by 2. So with the help of this, at the place of sin square omega t, we may write 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2 and dt. So take it 2 out. So I naught square R by 2 and separate it separately. So first is the dt 0 to t, and next is the minus cos 2 omega t dt, and integrate both. So next step, I naught square R by 2, and dt integration of dt is t, limit 0 to t, and cos 2 omega t, this will be integrated, its value becomes sin 2 omega t by 2 omega, and limit is our 0 to t. So put the limit. Again this I naught square R by 2 out. So here t, upper limit minus lower limit becomes capital T, t minus 0 t, minus 1 by 2 omega out, and the sin 2 omega t at the place of t, once you write capital T and then 0. So sin 2 omega t minus sin 0. So next step is, here I naught square R by 2, here is your t, and 1 by 2 omega, and this sin 2 omega t, sin 2 and omega is 2 pi by t, we know the formula. Omega is equal to 2 pi by t into here t, and sin 0 becomes 0. So when we shall solve this, it becomes what? I naught square R by 2, this one as it is, t over here, and 1 by 2 omega over here, and sin 2 into 2 omega t by into t will be cancelled out, becomes sin 4 pi. And students know that sin 4 pi is again 0. So what the next expression after solving? After calculation, this h is equal to finally I naught square R by t by 2 is I naught square R t as it is by 2, and this term becomes 0. So this expression 2 gives the heat produced in a conductor of resistance R by the alternating current in its full cycle, full time period t. So according definition, again we calculate the heat produced by the RMS value of this AC circuit. The value will be the same, and after calculating that value, we will equate with this equation, we will get the RMS value of alternating current. So heat produced in conductor, H is equal to I naught square R by 2 into T, we have calculated, given by equation 2. Now we shall calculate heat produced in the same conductor in same time by RMS value of the AC. So suppose IRMS be the RMS value of AC which flows through the conductor of resistance R. It is the same conductor for same time T. Then what is the heat produced by this RMS value? So heat produced H is equal to IRMS square R into T. Put equation number 3. So heat produced in the conductor we have calculated by the alternating current, and heat produced by the conductor calculated by the RMS value of the current. Now according to definition of RMS value of AC, this equation 2 must be equation number 3, because definition says the heat produced in the conductor by the alternating current and by the RMS value will be the same. So both the equation will be the same. Equation 2 is equal to equation 3. So here I square RMS T RT is equal to this one I naught square RT by 2. So this T and T will cancel out, R will cancel out. Then I square RMS is equal to I naught square by 2. So what is the IRMS? IRMS is equal to I naught by under root 2, and this, when you solve it, you will get its value is equal to 0.707 I naught. I naught is the peak value of the alternating current. So this is the IRMS or root mean square value of alternating current, which is equal to 0.707 I naught. It means 70.7% of its the peak value. So students, in the similar manner, similarly we may write the RMS value of alternating EMF and RMS value of alternating voltage with the help of this relation. And it can be given by ERMS, RMS value of alternating EMF, E naught by under root 2. At the place of I naught we shall write E naught by under root 2. Again it is 0.707 E naught means 70.7% of the peak value of EMF. And RMS value of the alternating voltage VRMS is equal to V naught by under root 2. Again it is, this is equal to 0.707 V naught. V naught means peak value of the alternating voltage, means VRMS or RMS value of alternating voltage is 70.7% of its peak value. About root mean square value of alternating current, one important point should be noted that the RMS value of AC is equal to a square root of the mean of squares of instantaneous current. And this statement will help you in solving the numericals. Hence, we will find the formula of RMS value of AC in terms of the instantaneous current. So suppose the time period T of one complete cycle of AC is divided into n equal and a small time intervals. This complete T, total time period divided in n number of equal and small time intervals. And if I1, small I1, I2, I3, In be the instantaneous currents during these time intervals. Also, H1, capital H1, H2, H3, Hn be the corresponding amounts of heat produced during these time intervals. It means which are divided in n number of equal time intervals. Then what is the total heat produced in the conductor of resistance R? Suppose H is the total heat produced. This H must be equal to H1, H2, H3, Hn. Now put their values. The heat produced by RMS current in a conductor of resistance R in time period T is equal to I square RMS square R in T. We already derived that. And this equation must be equal to, for H1, I1 square RT by N. I1 is the first instantaneous current, R is the resistance of the conductor, T the complete time period which is divided in n numbers. Similarly for second heat produced, H2 is equal to I2 square RT by N, so on. Hn is equal to In square RT by N. So right hand side take common R and T on the side and it will be considered by the left hand side R and T, and equation becomes IRMS square is equal to this one I1 square plus I2 square, I3 square In square divided by N. So this will finally we'll get, after this we'll get that IRMS is equal to root under I1 square plus I2 square, I3 square In square by N, where I1, I2, I3 In be the instantaneous currents in the different small time intervals. So this formula also gives the value of RMS value of AC in terms of the instantaneous currents, and with the help of this we can solve the numericals. Now let us see some sample numericals. This one question I have taken from the CBC. Long back this question has been asked in board exam. See this figure, it is the current versus time graph. In this figure, what is supposed to find? The question says, determine the RMS value of alternating current shown in this figure. In this figure, the positive axis maximum current is given 2 ampere, negative x maximum current given 2 ampere, but this time is divided in the 3 equal intervals 1, 2 and 3. So we supply this formula. IRMS is equal to under root I1 square, I2 square, I3 square dot 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 we can go divided by n. So following this figure, what is the value of I1, I2, I3 and the n? I1 0 to 2, this one 2 ampere. I2 again, here this reason, second part of the interval 0 to minus 2, so minus 2 square. And the third time interval here again, the minimum to maximum 2 ampere, 2 ampere. And at the place of n, we select the time is 1, 2 and 3 part divided, which is the 3. So IRMS is equal to this value you have got. When you solve it, you will get the result 2 ampere. This is the answer of this question. So please solve this type of more question from the different books and NCERT. Look at this question number 2. What the question says, if the RMS current in a 50 cycle per second AC circuit is 5 ampere, then what is peak value of current? Number 2, the value of current 1 by 300 seconds after it was 0. So both 1 by 1 will get. There is a solution for peak value number 1. We know that IRMS is equal to I naught by under root 2. This formula, I naught is the peak value, this is the RMS value. So therefore I naught is equal to under root 2 into IRMS. So under root 2 is 1.414 and RMS value is already given here 5 ampere. When solve it, you will get the value 7.07 ampere. This is the answer of the peak value of current. For the second part, we shall apply this formula. We know that I is equal to I naught sine omega t. Instantaneous current. So this is equal to I naught sine. At the place of omega we can put 2 pi f into t and put the values. I naught is the peak value. Peak value already we have calculated 7.07 ampere. So at the place of I naught 7.07. Sine 2 pi f is the frequency. It is given. Frequency is the 50 cycle over here. So put 50 and time is given 1 by 300 seconds. So solve it 7.07 and this bracket form becomes pi by 3 ampere. Pi by 3 means the 60 degree. So put the value 7.07 next step and here sine pi by 3 is under 3 by 2. After solving this, we will get the current I is equal to 6.12 ampere. So these two questions we have taken to solve you, and I will suggest you to please solve more questions on this topic.